Hello everyone, welcome to the Watch Poplars. It is almost Halloween. Just a few days left. And at the end of this week, it will be November. It will be next month. And so we have a very cold spell arriving soon. Well, I guess, well, it is the cold, I don't know. It is a cold. It's a cold spell. Not a very cold spell. It's an average cold spell for this time of year. And we're gonna get to like, I don't know, well, last night we got to like 45 degrees, which is like, 5 degrees, no, it's almost, I'm gonna guess 7 degrees Celsius. I can check the thermometer in there just to see if I'm right. So, oh yes, I was very close. Okay, so actually, I think I was absolutely correct. Yeah, so we went last time to 45 degrees last night. So that's exciting. That's the coldest night we've had so far since early October. That was the hottest time of the year, so yeah. I'm gonna put all my subtropical trees and my tropical plant, acacias, in the greenhouse for the winter. And I'm going to first see how this does inside the plastic dome, in the bucket, in the greenhouse. And if it starts to get side effects that it's like not breathing well, I mean, it already has weak leaves because there was not much air circulation, and so yeah, if it was growing out in the sunny, dry weather, it would be a lot more firm and less delicate feeling, I believe. So yeah, I'm gonna put them all in there, and what will remain are my hardy plants. And as you can see, they're all getting fall colors. Well, most of them are. Well, some of them, yeah. But that is an update I will show you later in the video. So I want to open the greenhouse. Now the big door. And I think the last time I remember opening this, like in a video, it was in late June when it was storms. And I had to open it, I had to step on the flaps here and kind of tug it open, which I think I should do now. And I'm very successful with that. But I need to open the other one, and the other one is torn. And it has no like handle for the zipper, so I'm just inching it up with my finger. I'm just pushing it. This is not a tutorial, I'm not turning. Oh god, this is how I ripped it, I believe. Just opening it by pouring on it like that. But what can you do with a broken greenhouse? It's also jammed. This is a great way to start a video. Okay, the door is ready to be opened. Okay. We just put this on here. this has just been applied into here. But today, I want to prune those two Sesbania back all the way. They're very tall, but I want to be safe this time, so I'm gonna prune them. Well, you can see the height of the greenhouse. This is like looking at it completely flat, and there's a lot of foliage that if it warms back up in the greenhouse in the surroundings of this plant, that it will keep its leaves and they will stop falling off. Well, they will stop falling off like that. It's beautiful fall colors, but they're not deciduous. I mean, they partially defoliate if it gets cold enough, but they're not supposed to do that in their native climate, which is like Brazil, but I could leave these out all winter and they'll probably survive, but in the worst case, they'll die back, so I want to be sure. I want to be safe. So, I don't know, I'm just going to prune this branch. There's timber. This big cut. And then this one has a bit more color on it and has colored leaves all the way up to here. But it's a lot shorter. In fact, it's just an inch shorter. It is as tall as the greenhouse from the ground. So in an elevated surface, it would be over at the height of the greenhouse. So I don't know. I'm just gonna prune here, and maybe these go from cuttings. I don't know. But I have two. So that if one dies, then the other lives. And then yeah, so that. How tall are these? I think that's pretty good. I don't expect these to grow much over the winter, if they do grow. So there. I feel like it is kind of tall, but that should do. And maybe these buds are kind of starting to show some growth on the buds, extensions on the buds. That is a good sign. And in these hibiscus, they're not a kind that grows into a bush or a tree, but they will live more than this year because they're 1-year-old seedlings. And they'll live more than a year if I keep them in here. So yeah, and they have never seeded this year. None of the flowers turned into seeds. So that. Well, maybe just because it's its first year, but I don't know. I also got to make space for the seeds that Mom planted in here. I'm going to put the Sesbania on either side of the two high points, just so that, like, I don't know, the middle of the greenhouse is relatively open, so the seeds can sprout. Whatever seeds those might be, they probably winter crop. Nitrogen fixers, probably 20. I don't know if we do that much. Advanced farming. Sorry for not showing you what I was doing, but I just was rotating it. So that this branch faces and points across the greenhouse. So yeah. Yeah. Very, very nice fall colors, I'd say. You know, maybe one day. I mean, we do have a heat wave coming up, so that would be nice. Because, I mean, winter, they probably think winter is approaching right now. That's why they stopped growing. And I gotta put this back in here. And I'll put this over there. On the farther side, in this, I'll see how it does. Protected with 2 layers. And also there's a slug. This is the one I started the video with, but I don't... Slugs are bad for plants. Slugs are my worst enemy. Gastropods in general. So yeah, there's that. I have to prune the tips of them. I don't expect them to grow because they came from Key West, Florida, and they need to experience that tropical temperature to grow. But maybe they'll keep growing every sunny day because, you know, greenhouses, if they're not like, if there's no air circulating and no vents open, they can heat up. Even during the winter, when the sun shines on a greenhouse, it can go up really quickly. So I think it's safe to say that I can, I don't have to overwinter my sweet acacia in my bedroom, where it's actually way darker, and I'd have to survive on no direct sunlight, especially with most of the days being cloudy. That might be quite hard on it, and I don't know, stagnant temperatures. Yeah, it's never gotten below 60 degrees in our house during winter. This is fine. I mean, I'm kind of wondering if this is actually a true tropical tree, because why I say that is because at the edge of the plastic dome it was under, the leaves were drying out, or what? I will. I'm making a video. And the leaves look like they got cold damage at the edge of the dome, so I think they're cold sensitive. So that I'll just protect them in this bigger greenhouse for now and see if all the leaves fall off, and then if that happens, I'll put it in the plastic dome inside here for double protection. And oh god, I don't know. This is not the prime time to be rooting tropical trees as cuttings. This is best done in like the warm time, the warmest and most humid time. But I guess our warmest time is the most driest time of the year. God. And then there's, I think I got all the tropical and subtropical trees. But I feel like I'm not ready to do updates yet. All the succulents can tolerate our mild winters, but they'll just be under the eave of the roof. And I'm confident that will work. It's okay if they get a little bit of water. It's not like I'm growing adeniums or baobab trees, so they'll be on that box right there, the gray box, under the eave, just right up against the wall, so that only I can control the watering. I don't want to step on my tools. And I use these. These are called branch cutters, because I was thinking I was gonna have to prune them to stumps, but in approaching winter, this is not a good idea. So I've never experimented with Sesbania before, so this is a new thing for me. Especially trees that, like, not all the leaves will stay on until the tree stops growing. As the tree grows, the old leaves will strip off and flake off, even though, like, on most deciduous trees, you can see every single leaf from this year is still on the tree. maybe aside from my poplar, but those are just the ones that were on there from before I collected as an air layer. But yeah, so they kind of, this is how tropical trees that grow for like 9 months of the year, instead of over here where some trees just grow for like 4 months and the leaves stay on until it gets too cold for them to stay on. So yeah, that's what I'm saying. Hopefully it was understandable. So these will go into the compost heap, because it's just too it's too late, and I wouldn't even recommend starting them in late summer. I mean early fall, but yeah, the warmer temperatures all these yellow leaves should fall off, and then the greenest ones should stay on, and those should help it grow. Especially this one will grow across the greenhouse. And yeah, I think I'm ready to wait. I need to prune the acacia. I need to prune it because it's getting too tall for the dome. And it needs to be in the bucket, because the bucket helps, it supports the dome, and I don't want to cut them all the way back so that they would fit in there, because then they would have no leaves, because I would have to prune them like halfway, and then those leaves will fall off due to the low light levels. And so I'm only going to prune the newest shoots back, and then in early summer next year I will prune them all the way down to stumps. So yeah, you see these new growth that starts, this is from August, I think, yeah. From August to here, these have grown that much. And this one's very happy, very vigorous. So I'm gonna prune this. Well, I'm gonna prune this to here. Actually, that's quite tough wood. Despite it being still youthful looking green. So yeah, there. And wow, that is how hard do these get? Actually, it's quite brittle sounding. Well, I mean, tough is what I mean. So they're pruned up. This is not how high I want the first branches to start at, but I mean, if it was the right time, I could try these as cuttings, but it's too late. And these are very prickly, but the thorns are actually quite flexible, and they're not like bullhorn acacia that look absolutely wicked and menacing and malignant. So let's try that. Still looks a bit tall, but if they do start growing, I'll just actually keep this one kind of tilted so that the middle shoot, I don't know, perspective makes a big difference. So okay, so part of the air from here is leaching into, so I don't think it matters right now because they're not growing, but if it does start growing, I could possibly just kind of cut the bottom part of the soil in the pot it's in down like by a few inches so that they're a bit shorter. You know, not full on repotting and root pruning, but just so that it fits better. And that operation shouldn't be too damaging because I won't be root pruning most of the roots. So I'll put these in the compost. And I could, I don't know. Most of the compost we have is like it's just a bunch of rotting fruit. And you can't plant things in decomposed fruit. It just doesn't work. It's not successful. So you need leaf litter. And then you get real soil. And speaking of soil, I think I know how to make my own bonsai soil. And it's by crushing rocks. No, I'll probably. I need to make a lot of soil because I need a lot of rocks to crush, and so that I have lots of soil to repot all of these, because I'd much rather switch to. I can't keep using this normal soil that has like zero oxygen in it, because the particle size is so small and close together. It doesn't allow the roots to breathe, because the roots do need to breathe, actually. As a matter of fact. So yeah, I'm holding my phone between my knees because I need this. I need to use both hands. Okay, there. And now for the updates. So we're at 20 minutes. So I'll show you all the pistache and the Coleoptera and all the fall colors. So everything is shutting down, but that's not how I like to say it. I don't know. I hold more praise to fall colors than someone who doesn't like winter. I don't know if what I'm saying is making sense, but I love fall colors is what I'm saying. But this, I took the wire off of this one. The wire I put on here was not for structural stuff. Maybe it was. It's just I was only trying to give each of these branches light, so that they would all keep growing. And I bent this one backwards and this one forwards, but it ultimately left these spiral patterns. And I peeled the bark on this one only, but this one was growing the most because it is the apically dominant part. When every tree is young, they are apically dominant. They want to grow up, and you can see a bitted right there, but next year that's going to vanish completely. These are very shallow wire marks, but you can see the color of the wire, and these wires were not the most clean, so you can probably see the residue they left behind. But the plant is soft, and it is not soft anymore. And I put on the wire in June. Maybe when it was still kind of flexible one, but now it's almost winter and it's doing well, and I'm confident those wires will go away. The wire marks. The Coleoptera is. I feel like on November 5th, this is going to get peak fall colors. Because there is no leaf on here that is not getting fall colors. Every single leaf has started fall colors. This probably has just started, but this is what the summer leaves look like. And even this one, there's a leaflet right there starting to turn bright yellow. The Lactusa quercerina or whatever, I don't know. It resembles an oak leaf, so I think that's why it was called that. Lactusa got its name because, I don't know if it's still doing this, but if I rub it like that, you can see the beads of white sap, latex sap. because I just rubbed off a protective skin, I guess. And if you sever the stem, you can see I just nicked that with my fingernail, and it starts bleeding out latex. So don't get this in your eyes. Don't ingest it in any way. And yeah, the eucalyptus is still growing. I have no idea when it's going to stop, but the tip is just it's acting as if it's summer. It's very flexible and youthful at the top, and I don't know what these colors are. But it doesn't seem to be affecting it. I have all the Ruth Bancroft garden plants here, and the bottle trees with the leaves of 3. I'm very excited for those. I'll keep you guys updated on if the base of those seedlings start to swell up and turn into bulbous trunks. Turns out this is some kind of pear, and I made a photo album of this plant in my library, and I just called it Bradford Pear Bonsai, because I don't know, it really resembles a pear. So yeah, the weeping willow here, the leaves have actually gotten significantly weaker, and I'll pull one off for you. So yes, I wasn't pulling very hard, but I already tested that out with one leaf, that longer one, and I was like, oh, are these fall colors? I mean, it's quite early for willow fall colors, but I don't know, it's looking very yellow, and it's probably not because it's growing in water. It's not drowning, because willows are aquatic plants, and they grow, they're made to make use of wet areas. Here's an update to this. The new growth, I guess, an effect from the heat wave on this honeysuckle, and it's still growing and flexible. It might still grow into like early November. So yeah, I have an avocado that's actually growing right now still. The tip is flexible. My blackberry vine is getting fall colors, and I was worried I was not going to get any. But I guess the original stem died for a reason. Well, because the sap was going backwards, but it turns out, I mean, this is a semi-evergreen, partially deciduous, so all these small leaves might stay on, but this is definitely still growing. It's certainly slowing down on the growth. It's even prickly all the way up to here. Whereas in September, when I made that creepy video of me with all that makeup on, it was all soft and flexible all the way up to here, except it's grown probably 1.5 feet since I last showed you. I'm not sure, but yeah. All the cacti and succulents, I already told you what I'll do with those. There's some yellow leaves starting on this willow here. That might be fall colors. I'm not sure. This might be fall colors starting on the sycamore. Clematis. There's another one here that looks like it's a bit later genetically with fall colors. And these plum cuttings are pink fall color, red. And then there's a Sesbania seedling right here. I'm positive it's a Sesbania seedling because it looks exactly like the leaves of the other ones that are in the greenhouse now. There's a redwood tree here. There's a redwood seed that I planted, and it's grown. This is all how much everything that is in here is this year's growth. So yeah, I'll give you a closer look at the seedlings from the seeds from the Ruth Bancroft garden. So there's like acacia varieties, and then there's these plants. I don't know what they are. They're very cool. These are almost all legumes except these. These are related to baobab trees. They are related. to baobabs, which is very interesting. It's like a baobab relative that can grow here, but I mean not native. Yeah. My alder might be getting fall colors. I don't know. The leaves are still firm, even the discolored ones. Oh well, that one came off really easily, but I'm still unsure. So I'm gonna still say that this is just irritation from the days I forgot to water it. My poplar, its leaf is turning into fall colors. I guess it looks a bit like the leaves look a bit done already. So all these leaves all lower down are kind of sickly looking, and then these ones are the most healthy looking, but they still look kind of yellowish. The camera makes everything look bluish, but it looks quite like it's about to start fall colors. But the tree it came from gets its peak fall colors in mid November to late November. My red oak, I was testing how strong the leaves were, and I popped one off, and oh yeah, that one looks like it's about to give. This one still hanging. There's one here. I'm not gonna do it because it's the only one that is in peak fall color, this leaf here. But then there's a bunch of leaves up here that are getting fall colors, and this one looks like it's about to fall off soon. The wisteria might be getting fall colors. This red oak is getting fall colors, in its weakest leaf. There's another willow here growing next to the Monterey pine. The Chinese pistache are all getting fall colors except the little ones here. Well, this one's actually getting fall colors and it's still growing, so it's kind of ironic. Interesting. The elms are still growing. This and that. Dawn redwood's done growing, and it might start getting fall colors soon. Big leaf maples growing very nicely. It's still soft and flexible at the tip. The buckeye has not done anything since, like, I don't know, since I pruned it in June, I guess. Everything is, some are still growing, like a lot of them are still growing. All these willows are still growing. The wisteria is looking like it might start fall colors soon. These gray pines have stopped growing. And yeah, this video is very long. So yeah, that is all for today. And yeah, I don't need an update to the willow cutting that is like really leggy and long. But yeah, so that's all for today. This is the Watch Poplars, and I will see you in the next video.